Creating tactics can be really hard, so we're going to test out the most basic 4-4-2 and see how it performs. Today we're going to test out the most basic 4-4-2 formation. That means we're going to have essentially a clean slate and not do anything, so there are no changes to the in possession or in transition. They are completely standard. Nothing is selected. Nothing at all. It's just a flat 4-4-2, and a mid block is just the basic standard line of engagement as well. Standard defensive line, everything else blank. We've got a 4-4-2 with the most basic formation we can possibly go with the basic instructions. Fullbacks, automatic. Central defenders, automatic. Goalkeeper, defense, because that's the only one you can do. Wide midfielders, automatic. You're seeing the pattern here. Central midfielders, again, automatic, both of them. The only difference is we've got a complete forward on attack and a complete forward on support up front. Just because. So we've got, that's it. The mentality is balanced. This is the simplest tactic ever. And we're going to test it out with the top team in each of the top 5 leagues. So we're going to be manager of Man City, PSG, Bayern, Napoli and Barcelona. We're going to simulate a full season on holiday, and we'll see how things develop. So we have holidayed through a full campaign, and you can see we are still Bayern manager. We've won the league, but we've been sacked from 3 of the 5 clubs, which suggests that the most basic 4-4-2 doesn't work that great. But we have won the league comfortably, 21 points, clear of Dortmund in the Bundesliga. Got to the round of 16 in the Champions League, knocked out quite early in the DFB Pokal. We'll have a look at that in a second. But we have won the Bundesliga pretty comfortably. 58 positive goal difference, 21 points clear of our nearest rivals, and I'm not sure what I've clicked there. But we can see here, 90 goals scored for, 32 conceded, 25 victories, 4 defeats, 5 draws, 21 points clear of Dortmund. We have done really, really well as Bayern manager. Again, we'll have a quick look at the average ratings of the whole squad, and plenty of goals for Mane and Gnabry, 23 and 24 between them. That is pretty impressive. And the whole squad's performed pretty well. I mean, we've won the Bundesliga. We've not won anything else. We've lost. I want to check out that. So Frankfurt won the DFB Pokal, and we lost to them on penalties in the second round. So look at the draw, really, isn't it? With a cup competition, we probably should have won that one. Won the Super Cup, but who cares about that? Champions League is one interesting as well, because obviously there are 4 other teams in the Champions League playing a basic 4-4-2. You can see PSG and Man City face each other. We lost as Bayern managed Atletico. Barcelona are in there as well. Can't see Napoli in the round of 16. So Bayern are out early in the Champions League. But we won the league, and is there much to look at, really? There's the data hub. You can see a few things here. We've got loads of goals, good game. Passing's okay. Shots, plenty of them. I mean, it's worked to an extent. I mean, how difficult? This is basically showing that it's not difficult to win the Bundesliga with Bayern. You can play whatever tactic you want. You can go with the bare minimum. And the same can be said in France with PSG, because we are still PSG manager, and we won the league by 10 points with the most simple tactic possible. Runners-up of the Champions League, winner of the Coupe de France. So they've got the double, nearly the treble. So, I mean, the tactic does work, clearly. If you've got a good squad, you can play whatever you like. That's maybe the takeaway from this. You can play whatever tactic you like if you've got a squad good enough. I mean, Mbappe got 15 at Champions League goals, 23 in the league. I mean, the goal difference again, 51, isn't much to see here. 77, 4, 26. I mean, the defence is pretty sound. Plenty of goals scored, top in the league in both of those stats, I think. At least conceded, most scored. So it works pretty. If you, again, got a good squad, play whatever you like. Doesn't matter what tactic you plug in. But as a simple 4-4-2, completely basic, it's worked. It's worked okay. I mean, Mbappe's got 40 goals. That's not fantastic, but he's got 40 goals. You can't really grumble at a double and losing in the Champions League final to Liverpool when you are playing the simplest tactic possible. But it's clearly not worked for everyone. So which club did we start off in this game? So this is the Man City manager who got sacked, but we did win a competition actually by the look of it, and we lost the FA Cup final. But if we look here, so we finished second by 4 points in the Premier League. I mean, that's not too bad. Knocked out the round of 16 of the Champions League. We've seen that by PSG already. Runner-up the FA Cup. It was the Charity Shield we won, and the Carabao Cup we lost in the the 4th round to Liverpool, Liverpool have ended up winning a treble here. Or have they won? Don't know. They've won 4. Liverpool have won 4 trophies this season. That's depressing for Liverpool. No, good for Liverpool. Depressing for everyone else. So Premier League, we'll have a look at that one. Haaland, top goal scorer with 38. I mean, that's not bad, is it? 104 goals for them, 93 for us, 10 defeats. That is the problem there. 10 defeats, 93 goals scored, 38 conceded. It's been okay. I mean, Liverpool went on a great run of form to end the season, so that's kind of why they took the title. If we hadn't been pipped out by that, we may have still been manager of Manchester City. If we have a look at our... let's have a look at the squad view. So we have a look at our average rating. Haaland getting 60 goals in 51 games is not a bad return. More than a goal a game. 8 average rating. It's tailed off towards the end of the season by the look of his last 5 games. But plenty of other great performances around. Foden getting loads of goals. Alvarez getting plenty of goals as well. You can't really grumble at that. Obviously got sacked, so you can grumble a little bit. We'll check out the other two sides as well. So this manager here, where did he start out? He didn't have a job history. Okay, that's good. Definitely managed someone. Okay, this is the Napoli manager, so we'll have a look at Napoli version of myself. We got sacked on the 8th of May, I think that said then. We'll check that in a second. How did they do? Poorly. 7th in the Serie A. Media prediction was 4th. Out in the groups of the Champions League, out in the first attempt at the Europa League as well, and semi-finals of the Coppa Italia Coca-Cola to Milan, sorry. Inter ended up winning it. It was an all-Milan final. Fine. Okay. That's not the problem. Europa League, pretty dire. Knockout playoff round. Lost in the first attempt to Braga. I mean, that's not fantastic. The group of Man City, Sevilla and Marseille was quite tough, I guess. The league is pretty bad. 7th place. We got sacked quite I think it was the 8th of May, so a few games left in the season, and it looks like they won the last 3 games of the season quite comfortably. So we have underperformed as Napoli manager. That much is for certain. So if they've won the last 3 games, we probably were sort of about 10th when I got sacked. But we can check that. We can check that if we need to check that. It doesn't really matter. We'll let me just double check the date we got sacked. I think that's probably key. So it was the 8th of May. They've got a caretaker manager in at the moment. So if we have a look at the schedule after the 8th of May, if we scroll down, we've lost the months on here. Scroll down, right, 8th of May, that Torino draw. So they lost to Milan after that and then won the last 3 games of the season. So it kind of looks a little bit better, the league table, than it should do. But yeah, we've set nothing in the tactic. We've literally gone 4-4-2 blank. We'll see how we get on with the final manager in the game as well. If we have a look at his job history, this must be the Barcelona manager, right? Let's have a quick look. Oh yeah, Barcelona manager here. We'll have a look at Barcelona and see how poorly they did. 5th in the league for Barcelona, so they're currently top of La Liga in the real world. I was sacked on the 26th of May, so we'll keep that date in mind in a second. The league looks like that. I mean, just outside the Champions League places, not horrific. I mean, yeah, it was horrific. Real Madrid ran away with the title. Semi-final of the Champions League, lost to PSG. Semi-final of Copa del Rey as well, lost to Celta Vigo, who ended up losing to Real Madrid, who did the double. Pretty disappointing in the end, losing that one to Celta Vigo, who finished 11th in the league. Champions League, knocked out by a fellow 4-4-2er in PSG. We were 3-1 up after the first leg, lost 3-0 in the second. Well, they both would have lost to Liverpool, I'd imagine, in the final. But we have a look at how Barcelona did. They've not done amazing in the last run of form, so that's not suggesting that we did too bad. But never mind. We'll have a look at the schedule. In the last few games, I think we probably missed 2 games at the end of the season. If it was the 26th of May, we got sacked. No, it was just the 1 game. So it looks like we lost to Sociedad, got sacked, and then smashed Rayo Vallecano 5-0 after I'd gone. But plenty of goals for Lewandowski, 44 in 49. That's not a bad return. This is saying that maybe these really in-depth tactics don't need to be that in-depth. The 4-4-2 with nothing has done okay. I mean, there you go. With PSG, we did really well. But the test isn't over. We're going to manage the bottom team in each of the top 5 leagues. Southampton, Elche, Cremonese, Schalke and Angers to see if this tactic works at the other end of the table. And once again, we've simulated through a full season and it doesn't work at the other end of the table. We've only got 1 job out of the 5 that we started with. Elche, who finished 12th though, so they're currently last in the real world, but they finished 12th with this 4-4-2 blank. Basic 4-4-2. Just missing out, really. I mean, how far away? Okay, quite far away from European football. Season preview, however, has them 14th. So maybe it's not as good as it looks like on the surface because they're performing quite poorly in the real world. But 12th in the league is not bad. Top goal scorer of 18. Okay. 1 in every other game. But what can we say? It's a 4-4-2 with absolutely 0 other input put in. We'll have a look at the Premier League. Southampton went down without a fight, essentially. Massively poor. When did I get sacked here, though? December, Boxing Day, I got sacked. So they've had half a season to turn things around and really haven't. We'll have a look. 10 goals for Shea Adams. I mean, you can't really say. Looking at their league position, we started out quite well. August, okay. September, that's when things went bad. Lots of defeats, and then unsurprisingly sacked on Boxing Day. One league victory after August. Not good. Not fantastic. We'd fallen here. Match 17 is when we got sacked. We'd fallen to 19th by the time we got sacked. And then whoever took over afterwards couldn't get us out of the relegation zone. So it's not my fault. Not my fault. We've looked at Santander, La Liga Santander. Ligue 1, Angers, 19th. I mean, it's kind of where they were predicted, I think. I think they were predicted... Okay, no, they were predicted 16th, so it's a little bit poorer than they were predicted. When did we get sacked? March. So we had a bit of a longer run here, so this is a bit more of our fault, I guess. But yeah, they've gone down quite comfortably. 5 points. That's 5 points shy. That's not too bad. But a poor start to the season. Look at that. We didn't pick up a victory until November, and we still didn't get sacked until March. So that's not horrific, really. But the poor run of four. Yeah, this didn't work out very well. I got sacked around there. Was it after the Toulouse game? Yeah, okay. Not fantastic. They did win the first game back as well after we got sacked. But we'd kind of fallen off quite poorly. And then I think it was around about... Where are we? Here. Yeah, so I think it was after that Toulouse game. That victory there was the last sort of dead cat bounce for Angers, and they finished 19th pretty comfortably in the relegation zone. So the tactic didn't work for them. Let's go to Italy now and see how it went for Cremonese. And they got relegated as well. I mean, what are you expecting? We did get sacked until the end of the season, though. 21st of May we got sacked. So did we actually miss any games? Yes, 2 games. They won one of them. They got 4 points from the last 2 games, which, okay, they still would have been 19th regardless, so that's fine. They didn't really improve their position. But started out okay, mid-table, and then sort of when we got to the World Cup, it tailed off a little bit. Yeah, okay. Germany and Schalke is the last port of call. Let's see if they did anything better. I mean, obviously got sacked, so I'm guessing they got relegated as well. Yep, 17th. Ooh, that last bit of form doesn't look great. When did we get sacked as Schalke manager? End of the season as well, so it's very close to the end of the season, 27th of May. And looking at that, it was literally the last day of the season, and that 5. Oh dear, what happened here? So, the start of the season's fantastic. August, September, and October, really good. Didn't win a game after October, though. What happened? That is... Wow. Let's have a look at the league table, because, I mean, I would like... Oh, we were second. We were second at the end of October. And then literally, I think we scored 3 points for the rest of the season. It's just, oh dear, such... Now, that is... If you were actually managing that side and you got to second with this basic 4-4-2, you probably would have started implementing actual tactics and tried to keep the run of form going. That's bad. That run of form is bad. Look at the cliff and the fall. Oh dear. Right, so what this is telling me is that maybe complicated tactics are the right thing to have, and they don't always work. I mean, we won the league title in Germany and France and didn't get sacked in Spain with the bottom club. But maybe tactics are important and you need to actually look at them like this one here, which is going to show you a Plan B 3-4-3. Go check it out. There's loads of goals.